The USA walks in carrying something heavy. Not a trophy, an expectation. They are supposed to win. And expectation is the most dangerous opponent a team will face all night. You know this feeling. It's the job interview where you're clearly the most qualified candidate. It's the exam you're obviously going to pass. It's the presentation where you're the acknowledged expert in the room. Expectation doesn't calm you down. It removes your permission to fail. It adds invisible weight to every single move you make, turning a simple task into a high-wire act where the only two outcomes are meeting the baseline or public embarrassment. When failure is unthinkable, every step feels like a risk. Here's the psychological setup. The USA presses high. The moment a Bosnian player touches the ball, 3 shots arrive. Why does this work on the human brain? Because decision-making needs time. A fraction of a second to scan, process, choose. Take that time away, and the brain stops thinking. It just reacts. Tunnel vision sets in. Adrenaline spikes, the pass gets rushed. The clearance goes blind. That's not bad luck. That's design. We're not just chasing the ball. We're chasing your ability to think. Sound familiar? It's the exact same thing that happens when your boss corners you in the hallway with a sudden question about a project budget. Or when you're in a heated text chain and 3 people are typing at once, their bubbles popping up like incoming defenders. Your brain freezes, panics, and fires off whichever sentence comes out first, wrong or right. That's not you being incompetent. That's your nervous system doing what it's built to do under siege, trying to escape the pressure by discarding the ball as fast as possible. But here's the catch nobody talks about. A press is built on absolute trust. 11 players moving as a single coordinated nervous system. The second one player hesitates, doubts, or arrives half a beat late, the whole trap collapses. The space opens up, and the pressing team is suddenly exposed. And when it collapses, panic doesn't stay with the opponent anymore. It comes home. Think about a group project at work or a family vacation itinerary. The plan only holds if everyone commits to the same energy at the exact same time. One person drags their feet, one person doesn't trust the direction, and suddenly the whole group is redlining, scrambling to cover a massive gap that didn't need to exist in the first place. You went from being the hunter to the hunted in the span of a single breath. Part 2. The illusion of control. Watch the USA hold the ball. 60% possession. Maybe more. It looks like dominance. It feels like dominance. From the stands, it looks like a masterclass. But possession without a goal is a psychological trap in disguise. Football players are conditioned from childhood to believe one fundamental rule: keeping the ball equals winning. This is the exact same trap as being busy in modern life. You felt it. A calendar packed with back-to-back Zoom meetings. An inbox that you ruthlessly clear to 0. A frantic day of answering Slack messages. It feels like progress. It feels like control. You lie to yourself at 5 p.m. and say, "Look at how much I got done today." But activity is not achievement, just like possession is not a goal. You can spend 8 hours rearranging your desk and feel exhausted, but you haven't actually built anything. So when the ball stays glued to American feet for 15-20 passes in their own half, there's a quiet, dangerous thought creeping into the dugout. We're fine. We're in control. Except control and boredom often wear the same jersey. 15 passes in, a Bosnian midfielder's concentration flickers for half a second. But worse, the USA players start believing the scoreline will simply arrive on its own merit, as a natural reward for their superior possession. They stop taking risks. They play it safe. They pass sideways. That belief is the first crack. And cracks in football are patient. They wait for minute 70 to show up. That's the same crack that shows up in a relationship or a career where things feel fine for months. No major fights, no glaring red flags, just a comfortable, repetitive rhythm. You're passing the ball sideways every day, mistaken comfort for safety. Until one small comment on an ordinary Tuesday, a forgotten chore, or a minor critique from a manager brings down the whole structure. It wasn't the Tuesday comment that broke it. It was the months of unchallenging comfort that allowed the foundation to quietly rot. Comfort without direction is never actually stable. It just hasn't been tested yet. Part 3. Bosnia's calculated suffering. Now flip the camera. 10 Bosnian players compress into a defensive block the size of a crowded parking lot. They are suffocating the space. From the outside, to the casual fan, it looks like fear. It looks like a team playing for a draw because they are terrified to lose. It is not fear. It is a conscious, tactical decision to suffer on purpose. We will not have the ball. We will not want the ball. We will make you hate having it. This is the psychology of the low block, and it is brutal in its execution. You know people who live like this in day-to-day life. It's the colleague who says absolutely nothing in the brainstorming meeting, letting everyone else pitch flashy, half-baked ideas, but quietly outworks everyone else after hours when the glamour has faded. It's the friend who quietly cooks at home and saves money while everyone else is spending lavishly on weekend trips that look great on Instagram but leave their bank accounts empty. They aren't exciting to watch. They aren't seeking your applause. They've accepted a temporary period of boredom and discomfort because they're playing a completely different game, one built on surviving the long game, while others burn themselves out. Humans are naturally goal-seeking animals. Show a footballer open green space, and his primal instinct screams, "Go forward." So Bosnia removes the green space entirely. No gaps, no rhythm, no air to breathe in the final third. And every single minute the score stays at 0. Something tectonic shifts inside the Bosnian dressing room. Confidence doesn't come from scoring for them. It comes from watching the other team get quietly, visibly frustrated. Their sideways passes are our applause. This is exactly how it feels to negotiate with someone who refuses to blink first. You keep offering compromises, adjusting your terms, filling the uncomfortable silence with nervous talking, and they just sit there, waiting. The silence itself becomes the high-pressure weapon. Whoever panics and breaks the silence first usually loses the negotiation. Bosnia uses the clock to create that exact silence, letting the opponent's own internal anxiety do the heavy lifting. Part 4. The art of breaking rhythm. Here's where it gets deeply personal. Bosnia doesn't just defend their box, they actively disrupt the opponent's internal clock. A tactical foul in the midfield, a slow, agonizing walk to take a throw-in, a long, drawn-out word in the referee's ear that takes 40 extra seconds off the clock. This is not cheap gamesmanship for the sake of mere annoyance. This is a targeted psychological attack on a highly sensitive state of being, the flow state. Every elite athlete chases flow, that beautiful subconscious rhythm where the body moves before the analytical mind can even finish the thought. The ball flows, the space opens up, everything feels effortless. You felt flow state too. You're deep in a complex spreadsheet, writing a proposal or working on a creative project. Headphones are in, the world is muted, and you're flying. Then someone taps your shoulder to ask a trivial question that easily could have waited until tomorrow. Or your computer forces an automatic update right in the middle of a breakthrough. Your rhythm shatters. The magic evaporates. It takes you 20 minutes to get that focus back, if it even comes back at all. Break the rhythm, and you break the athlete. Break someone's flow, and you break their entire afternoon. We don't need to beat your legs. We need to beat your patience. Now picture a young American attacker, 21 years old, full of adrenaline, taking a hard, unpunished foul off the ball for the third time tonight. He doesn't file it away calmly like a veteran. Something hot, sharp, and visceral rises in his chest. The next tackle he enters, he goes in a fraction too hard, driven by resentment rather than timing. Yellow card. The next shot he takes, he forces it from a terrible, narrow angle, because his frustration won't allow him to wait for the extra pass. That's not a physical weakness. That's the exact human reaction Bosnia paid for in advance. It's the same reaction you experience in heavy rush hour traffic when someone cuts you off for the third time in 10 minutes. Your pulse spikes, your jaw clenches, and suddenly you find yourself tailgating, driving significantly worse and more dangerously than the person who annoyed you. You've allowed their bad behavior to dictate your standards. Anger never makes better decisions. It just makes faster, sloppier ones. Part 5. The whiplash moment. This is the exact strategic pivot that decides matches like this one. The USA attacks relentlessly for 10 straight minutes. They pin Bosnia deep. Because of this, the American defenders' minds slowly settle into an offensive posture. Their shoulders relax. They start thinking forward, anticipating the celebration. Their focus drifts to the next chance, completely ignoring the massive emptiness behind them. Then, a misplaced pass. Bosnia steals the ball. And instead of resting, instead of taking a breath to savor the recovery, Bosnia sprints. Immediately, violently, without a single microsecond of hesitation. The psychological term for what happens next in the American defense is absolute whiplash. A brain built for attack has to completely reset and switch, in under 2 seconds, into full defensive survival mode. You know this terrifying moment from ordinary, domestic life. Everything is calm. Dinner is simmering on the stove. The kids are quiet. The evening feels completely settled and safe. Then the phone rings with emergency news, a burst pipe, a family crisis, a sudden work disaster that flips your entire reality upside down in half a second. Your body doesn't ease into the new crisis, it slams into it with a sickening surge of adrenaline. Your mind reels, trying to catch up to the new reality while still holding on to the peace you had 2 seconds ago. That gap between mindsets, those 3 to 5 seconds of total cognitive confusion, is not empty time. It is Bosnia's entire tactical game plan compressed into a single, devastating counterattack. You gave us one mistake. We only needed one. Part 6. The frustration curve. Let's talk about minute 60. The USA hasn't scored. The home crowd is growing restless, their cheers turning into low, rhythmic murmurs of anxiety. The manager is standing on the edge of the technical area shouting instructions. This is where the real psychological battle reaches its peak, and it has absolutely nothing to do with tactics or formations anymore. It is a battle of identity. The USA came into this stadium believing they were the dominant, superior team. Bosnia's entire plan was built to make that identity crack under the weight of time. So, what happens when your belief in your own identity starts to wobble? Players stop trusting the system. They stop trusting their teammates. Instead, they start trusting only themselves. They try to become the solo hero. You see extra, unnecessary dribbles instead of the simple, fluid pass. Forced long shots from 30 yards out instead of patient build-up. Numbers are pushed forward recklessly without any defensive balance, because standing still now feels like losing. You've lived this exact frustration curve. You study for weeks for a major certification exam, walking into the room completely confident. But the moment question 2 feels vastly harder than expected, your entire mental plan goes out the window. You stop trusting your preparation and start second-guessing your instincts, changing correct answers to wrong ones out of pure panic. Panic rarely looks like screaming in the moment. It usually disguises itself as taking massive, frantic action, sending 10 chaotic emails to solve a problem that just needed a night of sleep. That is exactly what makes it so dangerous. That frantic, disorganized action is precisely the psychological opening Bosnia has been waiting 90 minutes to exploit. Part 7. The cost of the unseen effort. There is a hidden invoice that comes with playing this way, and both teams are about to receive it. Every time the USA sprints to press, every time a Bosnian defender slides to block a cross, they are drawing from a finite emotional reservoir. By minute 80, your legs aren't just tired, your willpower is depleted. This is what psychologists call ego depletion. You know this exhaustion intimately. It's the feeling at the end of a long, brutal corporate sprint where you've had to smile through toxic meetings, placate difficult clients, and remain pleasant despite being overworked. You didn't do any manual labor, yet you come home so emotionally spent that deciding what to eat for dinner feels like climbing a mountain. Your willpower is a muscle, and Bosnia's entire game plan is designed to make the USA flex that muscle until it tears. When physical fatigue meets emotional exhaustion, the human brain stops processing complex strategies. It defaults to its primitive programming, survival. And in football, survival mode means mistakes. Part 8. Who wins their mind? Wins the match. Strip away the formations. Strip away the substitutions and the analytics. What's actually happening on that pitch tonight is a war between two distinct human mindsets. One team believes that exerting control wins games. The other believes that weaponized patience is sharper than any striker's boot. One team is desperately fighting the clock. The other is feeding on it. The scoreboard says 0. The scoreboard is lying about who's actually winning. This invisible war is happening around you every single day, far away from the floodlights of any stadium. It happens in tense salary negotiations, where the first person to speak a number loses their leverage. It happens in arguments with people you love, where the goal shifts from solving the problem to simply winning the shouting match. It happens in the agonizing space between sending a vulnerable text message and waiting for the other person to reply first. The pressure you feel in those moments is never really about the ball, the topic, or the task in front of you. It is about emotional regulation. It's about who can stay composed the longest while the fire burns. So when you watch this match tonight, don't just follow the ball. Watch the shoulders of the forward who just missed the target. Watch the frantic body language of the midfielder after a heavy touch. Watch who flinches first when the referee blows a whistle for a marginal foul. Because in football, the tactics board only draws the dream. The human mind decides whether that dream survives contact with reality. And the next time you feel that same familiar heat rising in your own chest at your desk, in your kitchen, in bumper-to-bumper traffic, remember what you are watching here. The scoreboard isn't the whole story. It never is. 90 minutes, 2 mindsets. Only one walks away unbroken. If you just watched this and realized you've been passing the ball sideways in your own life, or if you've ever let traffic break your flow state, hit that subscribe button. We drop new tactical breakdowns every single week, exposing the invisible games we play against our own brains. Drop a comment below telling me which part of this autopsy hit a little too close to home today, and slam that like button if you're ready to stop panicking under pressure and start weaponizing your patience instead. Turn on notifications so you never miss a kickoff. Stay composed, stay lethal, and I'll see you in the next breakdown.